Okay, here we are. Let me see. I should be live right now, hopefully. So, hey everybody, how you guys doing? Hope you're having a terrific, what is it today? A terrific Tuesday. And hope you're enjoying yourselves. And I hope you are ready for more Ace Attorney Investigations number 2. So, if you remember yesterday, we were investigating the fountain patio. We came back to modern day with, as you can see, with Edgy Jr. And what we were looking at, basically, we were looking for how could the normalium have reached, like who put the normalium in the freezing tank to create the poison gas. And we looked around. One thing that we suspect now is that in a teapot that belonged to Catherine or Kate or Katie, whatever, that inside it was hidden some normalium. Now, and we know that because it has some sort of a minty aroma that we noticed. So we sent the teapot for a lab inspection, and and right now we're waiting for the results, like Edgy is saying. So let's get going. If anyone has any questions, feel free to hit me up. Now, all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot. Oh, okay, yeah. And that's the end of the stream. Thank you everybody for watching. I had a great time with you tonight. Hope you enjoyed it at least as much as I did. And of course, that is just another one of my weird, lame dad jokes. We're gonna keep going.
I have a report. We have detected traces of normalium for the teapot. You can't be serious.
It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said.
Darn it! Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again?
Again? That's a nice admission there. Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance.
What are you saying? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything.
If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor.
What?
Smash. Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things.
Justine. Yeah, you're right.
Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. the Best.
Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I use. So, you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There is no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas.
Objection! Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying.
What do you mean?
The angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book. Quite a weird recipe book, honestly, if it contains the recipe to poison gas and a cure to, I don't know, I forgot the name of the disease, but that fucks up your taste. so you must have known how to create it.
I'm surprised you knew about that.
Miss Curator, is this true?
It is true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas?
It was caused by the victim hitting the lid of the glass case with a burner.
Oh, I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide?
She intended to deny it until the bitter end.
Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X.
That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else.
That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and... That night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone!
Katie, you could have. Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it.
That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it. Kate, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason.
Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well?
Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits, and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator.
That is not true. There are no guard or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them.
Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear.
It doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it.
Actuellement, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened.
Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Katie's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me. A chess game? A technique my father taught you? This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there is a law we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past.
Thinking the other way around.
Did my father do that too? Actually, he did, yeah. We saw him do it. For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate.
Miss Hall melted the Mr. Dervis sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today, Mr. Dervis' works are on display in this gallery. It can't be. She... I see. Now I know what to ask her.
That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over as you do your work. Miss Catherine Hall. 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dervis' sherbet sculptures.
Oui, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I do not know what you mean.
I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand.
Oh, sorry. Got confused.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I'll allow it. Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please.
Very well, if that will clear your suspicions about me.
Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery.
All right, here we go.
18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Rouquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Well, then spotting things suspicious right off the bat. I guess we're gonna have to press.
It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom. I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed, as you please.
All right. So pressing it is. Hold it! It must have taken a lot of hard work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion, I mean.
The place full of my memories with you, Monsieur Master. It is the only place for me. No matter what, at any cost, I want it back.
She looks like she's having fun.
Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood. Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony. Okay, so nothing there, I suppose. Hope she doesn't sing all of her testimony, though. Hold it! Are you managing this gallery by yourself?
Oui, well, I say manage, but it only opened today. And I must continue protecting this mansion, so that Monsieur Master has a place to return to.
So she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake. Kate, I'm so sorry. I was powerless.
It is not your fault, Monsieur Shields. I could not do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion. I collected Pierre Rouquet's works from all of...
Oh, I'm sorry, we did that. Hold it! Pierre Rouquet. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct? Well, the other way around, rather, but yeah.
Oui, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took.
Oh, could you tell us about that in more detail? There we go. This is gonna be the key.
After all,
Oh, no, she said that already. Huh. Maybe it's later that she goes into detail. Hold it! Opening the Zodiac Art Gallery was your dream?
The truth is, I wanted to manage the gallery together with Monsieur Master.
Yeah, because he was also a fan of Hyoke.
Singing and dancing and all kinds of sweets. That's the kind of gallery I dreamed about.
Was she planning on staging a musical in here?
Jeffrey Master disobeyed the goddess of law. It is unfortunate, but I'm afraid that your dream will never come to pass.
No! Monsieur Master is innocent. The prosecutor at the time did not believe it, but...
In order to protect Catherine Hall, Jeffrey Master gave a false confession. They were both trying to protect each other.
I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took.
Hold it!
By photos, do you mean the one taken in Isaac Dover's room?
Oui. You seem quite familiar with the events from 18 years ago, Monsieur Edgeworth.
So the sculptures in the Winter Palace were replicas! They melted and I didn't even get to see them once!
No, the Sherbet sculptures shouldn't have been replicas. Miss Hall is obviously lying.
After all that trouble it took to prepare them, it's a shame they melted.
The sculptures in the Winter Palace are the same Sherbet sculptures from 18 years ago.
Is that so? How is that possible, though?
Unless I point that out to her, I won't be able to find out the truth.
Okay. So I assume this is the part... Well, let's see. Winter Palace based on the photos. Let's go over our evidences. Identical to Shepherd desserts the victim 18 years ago. Touch the button. This is the photo from today. Yes, yes. I can tell because of the... Well, actually, yeah, I can tell the pictures are just different, but the biggest clue was the rock salt lamp. So what else do we have? Used gas burner, fluorescent cloth. Might have something to do with that, but I doubt it. There's the Pisces sketch. I would just want to check real quick if this is any different. No, it shouldn't be any different from the photo, right? No, it looks exactly the same. Not a bad drawing, actually. Painting, rather. Frozen gas, Angel's recipe book, frame finger marks, rock salt lamp, family photo, teapot, lift trolley, sketch of beauties, chocolates, liquid analysis results. Damn! Let's look over the file. Time of death in 2000, 18 years ago. Oh, this game actually takes place next year. That's nice. So, crime scene, Jeffrey Master's room, Mr. Master's rock salt lamp, Manfred von Karma, Gregory Edgeworth, century of limitations. Creator of the dessert contest, the victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypogagia. He was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. Yeah, accomplice though, that's still weird. We still don't have an answer to that. True identity is the famous French sculptor Pierre Hoquet. He entered the contest as a cake designer. While his body was found in the defendant's room. The cause of death was blunt trauma to the head. Because the body vanished, there appears to be no autopsy report. Is that the true reason? And here we have this photo of his body, which is also a photo that she took. I'm not sure though. Taurus and Gemini is supposed to be in the Winter Palace, and that's what she created, right? Based on the photos she took. the Winter Palace photo again. Don't see anything special here. Oh, wait! Oh no, actually it is identical, since back then Delicia ate the... well, Delicia and Master ate the strings on the harp, so that's why it's missing them. Let's keep going. Use gas burner. I don't think this has anything to do with that. Maybe this somehow? I'm not sure. I don't see how to use that right now. Pisces catch, same here. Pisces culture just as he saw it. White Fatalium with red Normalium. Contains the recipe for the drug that will cure the taste disorder hyperphagia. Some of the finger marks behind it in Mr. Master's room. Fingerprints were found. Oxalt lens. I don't think, yeah, it's just a photo. We can't really examine it. Family photo. I don't think this is relevant either right now. Based on the photos. The teapot. This I can examine, but I don't see any reason to do so. The surface of the platform is wet. Could be something about this trolley? That's all. I can't check the mechanism really. What about this? Ooh.
If you step here, you can adjust the height of the platform.
Indeed. Let's try changing the height. Kay, would you do the honors?
Roger! The platform raised up!
By using this, a single person could move certain heavy objects.
I bet this could easily carry Gummy.
Why would you carry the detective? Okay, so that's the situation right now. Unfortunately, I don't really see how that helped me right now. Unless I just take it down or something, but no, I don't see anything that can really be examined here. What about the surface? This lift is wet.
Maybe it was carrying something that was wet?
Did someone move something with this? Well, probably. Okay, I don't see anything about this. Maybe if I press it, no, I can't. So I don't know. I really don't see like anything helpful about this. Okay. Sketch of beauties. Nothing in here that's helpful really either. Well, besides, well, a bunch of stuff, but not anything that's helpful right now. Chocolates. I don't think they've melted a little. The only thing I can see, liquid analysis results. Oh! Oh, that's what I needed! How could I miss this? I totally forgot about this. Traces of salt, sugar, and blood detected. The sugar matches the light blue liquid found in Dover's room 18 years ago. The sugar found in the fountain also appears to have the same composition. So yeah, this is definitely it, because, well, it couldn't have been a replica since there's fucking blood in it. And I'm not sure if salt is supposed to be there either. So let me try this. Objection! Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created.
Oi, Miley, as a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I see. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one.
That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years.
Ah! What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years?
If you freeze it properly, that's not impossible.
Overruled. Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say?
I can't believe you've already uncovered so much.
So, you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures?
No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also,
Sorry, hold on for a second. Okay.
I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
It looks like you won't give up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there is anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in your testimony?
For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Okay. So as always, we're gonna press. Hold it! What were you doing before the judging began?
I was in my room on the second floor, practicing my dancing.
I'm still surprised we haven't looked, like, in neither of the investigations we went up to the second floor to, like, investigate the rooms.
I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then.
Piece of cake? What kind of show was that?
It was a children's program. The hosts made sweets while singing and dancing.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles? My father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. So Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? I don't think it was then. No, definitely not, because the judging was taking place and Mr. Dover's room was last, so definitely not. Like, it was only after the judging was done that they discovered the body. Okay, so it couldn't have been then. It's a nice little change, though, from having to present something. It could have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. And in general, I think we should listen to everything, unless there's something really, really obvious. Hold it!
So, you were the only one who could move freely during the judging period?
I certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants. However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entryway.
At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film in the camera. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? I don't think so. For now, I'm just gonna say no, unless there's something that's, like, super obvious. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Which could have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony.
But before I could deliver the
Oh, well, we did that.
Hold it!
So you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera?
Oui, I heard the sound of something breaking, you see.
If I had to guess, I think she stole the statues, it had to have been like between her finding the, like, after she told everybody, so they would leave the room, go over there, call the cops, and like between finding the body and when the cops showed up. That's the only time I think it could have been.
Monsieur Master, are you in here? Eek!
That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite out of it, you see.
When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavia's room?
I am sure that he was. Monsieur Master is the type of person who would carefully judge one room at a time.
She found Mr. Dover's body inside Mr. Master's room. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? I don't think so. It couldn't have been. He was still judging, so no way. This might have been. Okay, hold on. Oh. Okay, these two are the most important statements, I think. So let's see what we get from them. Hold it! Did you do so in the same manner as today?
Oui, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation.
Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kay was pushing her service card back and forth, from the patio to the main building.
I see. Did anything seem strange to you then?
Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. And he also said something about how the saucer was chilled.
The saucer was chilled?
Oh, wasn't that interesting? Yeah, I do remember that.
Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? Well, maybe, but I want to listen to the last statement too. Because come to think of it, it is possible that she might have had an accomplice with Mr. Gustavia. That she entered after him, and then they stole them together, maybe. And that might sort of explain what Gustavia was doing in there today. Why she might have known that he would come. So, hold it! When exactly did Mr. Gustavia enter the victim's room?
It was when Monsieur Gregory and the rest were investigating the crime scene.
Well, there we go. That's good timing. Apparently, Mr. Gustavia went into Mr. Dover's room to retrieve a family photo. Right, because he was afraid that people would suspect him or something.
He stole the picture so their partnership would remain a secret, right? But
Oh, and that too.
But you can't be a great thief if you get caught stealing.
Okay, I don't think Mr. Gustavia is a great thief. The moment Mr. Gustavia sneaked into Mr. Dover's room, could Miss Hall have stolen the sculpture then? I think that's the best option.
There wasn't anyone in the patio, no one in Mr. Dover's room, so that would have been the best time, I think. This was when you stole the Sherbet sculptures.
And how would I have done that? That's...
Oh, come on. He's not gonna say that, like, with Mr. Gustavia?
Not even a great thief could have taken it then, you know.
God damn it! It seems I was mistaken. My apologies. Please continue, Miss Hall.
She's done, isn't she?
Now, when could you have stolen the sculptures?
When did Miss Hall steal the sherbet, eh? Even with the brains of a great thief, I'm stumped.
If you want to know what happened, you should ask someone who was there. Don't forget, you can always count on Uncle Ray.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so yeah. It was the chilled plate, definitely. Yeah, when she prepared tea. So it has to be the... Well, I thought she might have had an accomplice and that kind of worked, but... And there was no one around, but I guess this also works. Anything seems strange. The saucer was chilled, so yeah. It was 50-50. This was when you stole the Sherbet sculptures.
I'm sorry, but... Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time.
See, that's what I thought. That's why I didn't say it then.
Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight?
Oh, now I get it. Now I understand why the plates were chilled. Okay.
That's precisely what I'm saying.
Now I'm getting it.
This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under their noses.
Right over there. And that's why the plates were chilled, because there was ice underneath them.
Take that! Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service card. It was the sculpture itself.
Eek! Overruled. But surely, that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service card, people would notice immediately.
Objection! I never said she used the service card to move the sculptures.
What? What do you mean? Then, what did she use to move the sculptures around?
This is what Miss Hall used to transport the sculptures.
Of course, as we've seen, the lift trolley.
Take that!
And this is...
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his Sherbet sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio.
This is a pretty neat song they got right now.
That is, because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place.
Are you saying that she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures?
I literally just said that.
Yes, I literally just said that. If the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved without arousing suspicion.
Gotta say the wind right under my nose as well.
How could that be?
So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures? Okay. What's the meaning of this? What were you thinking?
That was truly impressive. You certainly are Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected.
Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures?
Oui, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the Sherbert sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth said. I disguised the leaf trolley as a service cart. And I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
An ice block with star clusters on it? That seems familiar. Yeah, that was in the autumn room if I remember right. Exactly. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. So was it hollow? The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's sherbet salon.
The 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in the glass to preserve their fine details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Monsieur Dover.
So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole had melted too. So, everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago.
Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
She must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court. Well, yeah, it's been 18 years. There's been the what's it called? Statute of limitations. It ran out on everything she might have did. So really, it's only like the present case that's important, legally speaking, at least.
That is all I have to say. But even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it.
What? What do you mean by that?
Okay, this is the first time we're starting to see like a darker side of Katie. I wonder if she's gonna actually be like a villain, or is she like, did she like do that stuff back then but it's different nowadays? I'm not sure yet.
Heavens. You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the Statute of Limitations.
I like the little cat with a clock on the cover.
Statute of Limitations?
Statute of Limitations in criminal cases. Touch the check button. Well, why should we check it? Why can't we check it if he's gonna just put it simply? But let's see. Oh, murder 15 years and theft is 7 years. Well, still the same. Still, like, same thing applies. The suspect flees or lives in a foreign country. The time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. Oh, interesting. If possible, accomplices are on trial. The countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached. then resumes. If charges are pressed to demand compensation, the statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. Interesting. But all of these don't seem to be related to the statute of limitations in this case. I mean, I don't know of anyone who lived in a foreign country. I don't know anyone who... Well, there were accomplices supposedly, but the trial was over also like 14 years ago. But that's still enough, since it's been 3 years since the statute of limitations ran out. And I don't know about any presses for, I don't know if anyone made a claim for compensation, so I don't see how this is relevant at the moment. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page. Literally what we just looked at.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah!
That's right. Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures. Or for killing Mr. Dover, even if she did it.
So that's how it is. Smash. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has all been for naught.
Objection! I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago.
Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
Probably using ice, but I still don't know exactly how she used... Well... It's possible that she just, I don't know, wedged the body between the two, like, blocks of ice? I mean, that doesn't seem scientifically correct, but this is a video game, so I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, though, even for this video game. Even, like, for this series. We'll see. But it's got to have to do something with the ice. That's what I think. I would imagine it to be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal?
Are you claiming that you know?
Oh.
Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. So yeah, definitely something to do with that. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just Sherbet sculptures.
If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body?
Sorry, guys. Just taking a drink. Okay, let's see. So it's got something to do with the ice. I honestly don't know. Like, I can only think about maybe presenting this since we got the ice over here, but a lot of times some of the newer stuff, but I doubt it. Really, the only thing I can think about is... Oh! Gemini sculpture, blood. It could be this. It could be either the analysis or just a picture of the Winter Palace. I really don't know which, and it feels kind of 50-50 right now, so I'm gonna say... Like it doesn't. It's one of the things where I just like can't think that I can't understand the game's logic very well. Like it could be that like neither of the evidences really fits her question, but like I don't know. We'll just see. So let's give it a try. Take that! I'm sure Miss Hall hid the body here.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, please show us how she could have done so.
Well, isn't it obvious?
I believe you have confused obvious with impossible, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Oh, indeed, it's as she says.
If you plan on disrupting the investigation, I will have you removed immediately.
Before that, could I please have one more chance?
As you wish, but if you continue to be disruptive, I will not hesitate.
Where did she hide the body? Okay, so over, like, I can't think of any other place that points at a location. So I'm gonna say this, while not completely understanding how, but it's possible, I suppose, that after everything died down, in the crime scene at least, in the mansion, but she didn't own the mansion for a while, so that's extra weird. Maybe this is wrong too, let me just try and see. Take that!
This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture.
I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where, in this picture, can one see the body of the victim?
It's time to expose the location of the body in the photograph. So it's got to be this, right? I mean, I'm imagining. Well, it's in this sculpture, definitely. So I would imagine it would be like the figure covered, so they can't see his face just in case. Oh, also, he's covered in fabric, and there's a rainbow machine right next to it. So yeah, that should be enough, I think. Like that's way too much of a coincidence. Take that!
The Gemini sculpture?
Yes. While it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body? But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
Objection! That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body?
The fluorescent cloth. Take that!
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Oh, you see? When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. Overruled. That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Objection! Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal. Yep.
This is
a rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is a device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures.
by using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow. Miss Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture.
That's ridiculous.
So then, Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace.
That's right. The body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
Smash. However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
Objection! If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Overruled. Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us noticing?
No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream to the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first and was found by Delicia.
And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Hold it!
Oh,
Hold it! Monsieur Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body? If you cannot prove that, then there is no way I can accept what you are saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
actually there was. Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did.
Then, it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
Obviously, it should be the sketch of beauties. Take that!
Another sketch? Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the woman at the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service card on the left side of the sketch.
Service card? What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No! Hold it! Please wait. I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in that drawing. All I did was hand out chocolate to everyone.
The key detail in this sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake.
The tablecloth? It's light blue.
It may be light blue in this sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing, underneath a tablecloth.
What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in the sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would notice it immediately.
Yeah, but it's a lift trolley, Courtney, come on. Objection! There were 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. Also that. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would still look like a service card.
That's
Also true.
Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
I never imagined you would be able to deduce so much from just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake, like you said before? It doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone, the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates.
The chocolate I gave everyone?
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket.
Ah, now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So, why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through?
That's because...
And not only that, we also know that the trolley was wet when we found it, which is another piece of evidence. All that together, I think it's undoubtable.
That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart.
Ah! Smash! Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
She had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket. She wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me?
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us.
Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now?
I am actually not sure, or rather not positive. Let me look at the sketch again. I don't remember. I need to look at what she's wearing right now. I think she might be wearing it, actually, the tablecloth. Maybe. I can't remember if she has like a white apron around her right now or not, but it could be that. I wish I could. Don't think I can see in the profiles either. No, it's just the face. I'm gonna say Miss Hall has it with her. If it was in the fountain, we would have seen it. And I think same for the patio, unless it's the same. It's the same one that's on the actual service card right now, but I doubt it. I'm gonna say that she has it with her.
Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open.
Oh, yes she is. I fucking knew it. I had a hunch.
Out in the open? Ah, you mean?
Miss Hall, you are wearing the tablecloth around your waist. The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with a block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I am so sorry.
I'm honestly surprised. I thought Delisha would be the mastermind behind all of this. I really liked Kate. This sucks. Still doesn't answer everything though. She had to have. There has to have been someone else, I think. Like, why would she? Unless she was really lying to us from the very beginning, and I don't know, lying about her entire relationship to Mr. Master. Like, why would she do all of that? Why would she like get him in trouble? Did she actually murder him, or did she just like steal all the sculptures and shit, and hide the body, which is a major thing, which probably that's the thing. Like if she hid the body, she kind of helped put Mr. Master in jail. Maybe it has something to do with a master group, the pharmaceutical company that wanted to retain the Angel recipe book. I wonder.
1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Katie?
Kate, what were you thinking? Were we always trying to save Mr. Master together?
I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence.
So it sounds like she's not the one. Well, I guess she thought she was helping, but she was actually just making things worse. I guess she thought that if she had the body, she could help prove the innocence, but she really should have just turned to the cops. Even though with Von Karma, we never know what could have happened. Could have been he would have used that to twist the facts again or something.
From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it is too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
Even for Monsieur Shield, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal. The IS-7 incident? Don't tell me that you were the true culprit. My greatest crime is stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer.
Where no one looked for 18 years. Even though, well, the fact that it was owned by the company doesn't mean that anyone lived here. So I don't know.
However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them.
Oh. Well, that's a twist. So okay, so that was supposedly unintended. And I kind of believe her now. What does that mean, though? It might still mean... Oh, it had to be Gustavia then, right? Because he was in there beforehand. But she already stole the sculptures. I don't know. It doesn't really add up to me right now, for me. Because supposedly she stole the sculptures before Gustavia went in to steal the picture. So I'm really not sure. And she stole them like pretty much right after the body was discovered, like a short time after that. So I'm really not sure what the timeline is, like when exactly the body was moved. So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body.
Monsieur Master would never take another person's life. But because of moi, the body vanished, and Monsieur Master was found guilty.
Oh, so she didn't even know she was... Okay. So she wasn't thinking like she was doing something good. She was trying to do Mr. Master a favor and let him see like his favorite artist's last work. Okay, well, I'm still not sure where this case is going then.
That kind man. He treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else. And yet...
Okay.
When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but... when I saw the sculpture still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized...
Well, yeah, I guess it came as a surprise to her too. Like, she didn't go over periodically to check on them. She was just like kind of, I don't know, working in the moment, based on instinct or something. And then when she came back, she was surprised to see them, and that's probably when she decided to, I don't know, make it into a museum. Well, we're about to see.
that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitation has already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins.
I wonder if she could be arrested today for like, what's the word? Like, you know, sabotaging, I guess would be the right word, the investigation. Even though it was unknowingly, and I'm not sure, actually. Interesting. Maybe if Maury was here, I could have asked him.
It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master.
What you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas?
Actually, yeah, that's another thing I couldn't think about. Well, I thought it was more like a defense, like a way to defend against something, or like someone not wanting to find out something, but it's a bit more complicated right now, I see.
And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago confuse the two rooms.
I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish.
She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was either
to make us find the body or to find the true culprit. I think it was to find the true culprit. Maybe. Well, I'm not really sure. Oh, because she's not the one who hid it in there. So she probably knew that there was a good chance that the actual killer would come back and look for the body, so they won't find it. And and it was a trap. Okay, so that sounds pretty solid to me.
perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago.
Yep, just as I thought.
Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you detract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true culprit.
The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yeah, and he probably also knew that there was something fucky about the statues melting, because then the body would have been found. So he probably knew that they were stolen or hidden away by someone.
Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks.
Oh, hey, Palma. Good to see you, man. How you doing, buddy?
So, how could you protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit?
I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Doing alright? Good, that's good to hear, man. Happy to hear that. You know what's funny? I was thinking about you. You know that, I don't know what to call it, that, happening or whatever? That when you, like, learn about something new or you think about something new, then you suddenly notice it everywhere? Or, like kind of like it's a coincidence, but not really, you just notice it more than you did before? Not a happening, but, like, just... That's the wrong word, I just can't think of the right one at the moment. So yeah. So, well, it's not exactly that, really, but it's funny because I was watching The Flash. I'm watching the Flash TV show right now. I'm kind of really getting into it. It's pretty good, actually, surprisingly good. I was very pleasantly surprised. So anyway, I was just watching an episode, and in that episode, like, without giving too much away, the bad guy uses robotic bees to kill people. Like, he gave them, it's robotic bees that have, like, a way more potent poison, apparently. I didn't finish the episode, so I don't know all the details. But it's just funny, like, I felt that, like, you know, suddenly robotic bees are popping up everywhere. Even though that episode is from, like, 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, exactly, he was using them to assassinate people. Like I said, I'm in the middle of the episode, so I don't know who the villain is and why he's doing it, but it was kind of a nice coincidence. So just wanted to share that.
Yes. And then, Miss Hall, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
What? But that means that person is the true culprit? Overruled. Please, wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realize what you're saying? You intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident?
Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover?
Well, he just said it won't end well, but it's kind of tempting. But I really don't think I have any evidence at all at the moment. It's something with the kids. It's got to be something with the kids. I don't know exactly what, or the fact that they were cooperating and he didn't want people to find out, maybe, even though that's a really, like, extreme way. And his kid, like, disappeared. I don't know. Something fucky, but maybe not. Maybe we should investigate a bit more. And then make the accusation when we have all the information.
Should I be more careful and do it after I've collected more evidence? No. If I miss this chance, I might not be able to work on this case any further. Above all, I can't just leave the true culprit at large any longer. I can't just leave the people that have suffered for 18 years. I will solve this case by my own hand.
Apparently it's pretty long. I think it seems definitely longer than the first game. Yeah, well, it's also because, like, it took 2 weeks off of it when I was just feeling bad. So that definitely makes it longer. But yeah, I know, like, the first game in the Miles Edgeworth series took me, I think, about 20 streams, something like that. I think, hey, Dalmau, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? So there was that, and also this does seem longer. So as I said, that was the last one was 20 streams, and I think I'm in, like, stream 13 right now, and this is we're getting towards the end, I think, of the 3rd case. So it seems like this is gonna take a while. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do like this game though, and I do want to finish it before moving on to The more popular games, though. So, Eivel Mao, how you doing, buddy? Having a good Tuesday, I hope? Sleeping well?
What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate.
Awesome. That's awesome, buddy. Oh, by the way, were you the one that was asking me about that asked me if I know ProZD? Or ProZD? I don't know. Oh, you bought a game. That's awesome. What game? Oh shit, something about Judge Courtney, my bad.
I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident.
So I looked him up. I didn't know him beforehand. Well, not really. I didn't in an unrelated way. I did watch. So I didn't know him, but someone showed me recently that show he's in right now. The Anime Crimes Division, I think it's called. And it was kind of cute. Like, I'm not a big anime guy. I've watched a few, but I'm not like really into it. So I probably missed some of the jokes. But I got part of them, and it's like, again, a surprisingly funny and nice what's the word? Internet series, I suppose. YouTube series. So yeah, so I just want to say this. So I do know of his like new series, and it's pretty good, it seems. Like, again, surprised me pretty well. I think the humor is spot on. It's got a nice little what's the word? I don't know. It should have a nice little fan base, so that was nice. So I do actually know about him, and I like what I've seen. So yeah, it's got to be Gustavia. Take that!
Dame Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is that the true culprit of the IS-7 incident?
Oh, that means that he also... No, that couldn't be it. Well, I don't know, really. When did he hide the body in the ice? Oh, you bought Postal 2? Wow. Yeah, blast from the past, man. I never actually played it, but I know a lot about it, obviously. Heard much of it. Did you start with it? Does it still hold up? Like, I don't know, 15 years later or so? 15 years? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd say it's about 15 years old. Feels to me like it was at, well, no, that might be a bit excessive, but let's say more than 10 years, I think. Like 12 years, maybe.
Gusty is...
Mr. Gustavia. Miss Hole. Still holds up. The 2003. Oh, so yeah, almost 15. Graphics give it a lot of charm. Really? That's nice that they don't feel outdated. But it's also, I think, such a silly game that you don't need like the realism or the immersion of like really high-end modern graphics, like, because most of what you're doing anyway is just fucking around. So it probably still works. Maybe I'll stream it someday, I don't know. Is it allowed even? I don't know. Maybe it's against Twitch guidelines to stream that game. Like, they got a bunch of forbidden games. I think it's not as bad as the ones in the list though, but maybe I should check.
Didn't you believe that if you opened the gallery, the true culprit would come?
The game has nudity? It's not just nudity. I know that games like Manhunt 2 is forbidden because it's just like so gory. And like it was banned in a lot of places because you just... If I remember right, there's like no real... Like they're not really... If I remember right, I remember a lot of talks about the game back then, but it's like your protagonist, like the guy you're playing, he's not like good in any sense. Like he's not killing guys to get back at them or because they did something to him, because they're evil in some sense of the word. Like he's just killing innocent people, and that in the most cruel, horrific ways. And that's the point of the game. So I think that maybe it's the violence, maybe it's just the setting, but I think that Manhunt and Manhunt 2 are also forbidden. I don't know if there's any nudity in them. The modding community is great too. Yeah, I was about to ask about that too. if there are any good mods for it, because that can definitely, like, you know, lengthen a game's lifespan by decades even, as we've seen on some games. That and speedrunning, I think. So that's great. Any really crazy stuff that you've seen? Really crazy mods? In Manhunt, you have to kill people to escape because you're trapped in some sort of snuff film production. Yeah, but I thought you were the guy making the productions, no? From what I remember, like, you're the guy who also, like, kidnaps them and then has to collect them and then has to kill them in the snuff films. And, like, the more gruesome you make it, the more points you get because of that. But it could be I'm remembering wrong. I haven't thought of that game in a while. The bad guy's the filmmaker, I see. Well, I don't know. I'm still pretty positive that the Manhunt is forbidden on Twitch. And maybe a bunch of other games. They have a specific list somewhere. There's a Pac-Man maze map. I saw. Oh, so it's really that's really cool. That's really cool, actually. I assume you play Pac-Man and you get to shoot the ghost or something, or is it not that like in depth? The second is about some dude who was into some kind of MK Ultra experiments and has to kill people to reveal the truth. But are the people innocents like in Manhunt 1, or? I remember there was a lot of talk about Manhunt 1, like they were really riled against that game. And unlike, you know, a lot of other ultra-violent games, like this one didn't really, I feel like it didn't pass the test of time. But I don't know. Again, I wasn't really that much into it back then even. I think it was like, yeah, when it came out, actually I don't remember at what stage in my life I was at the time. But I think I still needed my parents to buy me games, and there's no way I was gonna get that. He also bought a bundle. Oh, nice! What you get in it? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not?
You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edgeworth.
Now, would you please tell us the whole truth?
Oui, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit.
Oh, the Valve Complete Pack, yeah. I heard it was the cheapest ever or something. And yeah, it's got some really, really great games in it. Valve Complete, I'm assuming it's like all the great Valve games. Like at least Half-Life 1, 2, Portal maybe. Probably not Portal 2, stuff like that. Man, Valve used to be a pretty great gaming company. Because until they became a game distributing company. On sale for 20 euros. And how much games do you get in it for 20 euros?
Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling. All that was left for the trap was for the trap to do its work. When I heard Monsieur Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence.
Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way.
I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible.
Kate.
Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum's opening, with as many witnesses as possible.
It's actually not a terribly dumb idea. I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone.
Mr. Shields, it must be tough on him as well.
The one who should be apologizing is moi. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields, I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I am given.
Hello, Nestor! Good to see you. How you doing? Happy Tuesday.
However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner.
Awesome, yeah. It's been a while, I think, since I've seen you, hasn't it? Yeah, I know. I really wish she was really like, you know, becoming my top waifu, but this just really sucks.
However, to think that things would end this way.
To be continued. Right now, still got about 30 minutes left of the stream. So let's do as much as we can. This might be the final chapter of the case, by the way, I think. Miss Hall, have you composed yourself?
Oui.
What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable.
Oui. I know.
Wow, 23 games for 20 euros? That's like all the Valve games ever? Wow, that is really, really good. That's a great fucking price. Good job, man, for spotting that. Nestor, did you get anything good for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
However, he committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence. If the true culprit is someone else, you have a duty to reinvestigate.
Overruled.
Some Steam games? Nice, nice.
No false evidence from the IS-7 incident remains in the official case files. Moreover, there's no evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony.
Well, just the fact that the body was found now means that it was lost at some point from the cops, right? So that enough, I think, is reason to reinvestigate. Commander Keen. Oh, they got Commander Keen on Steam? Really? I should get that shit too. Disney Afternoon Collection. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, dude, Commander Keen, it's a fucking classic. Oh. Yeah, I think it's with a C. The Commander, that is. But Keen is definitely with a K. But yeah, man, I love those games back in the day. Well, I don't remember which one I played. It was probably like 4 or 5. I think those were like the most popular ones. That's a good price. Damn. Nice. Great catch. Yeah, the prices on Steam are pretty similar between dollars and euros. But ILMAO is also European, so euros are applicable, it's fine. Actually, I think it's only Euro boys right here, right now. All the more power to them. Us? Them? I don't know if I can include myself.
We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident.
Objection! We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence.
Overruled. Are you suggesting that the PIC overlooked such a prosecutor?
That's none of my concern. The truth is that the evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I can see the remnants of Prosecutor Von Karma within you.
What did you say?
You try to deceive the PIC and fabricate the truth. Let me inform you of my, or rather, the PIC's logic.
Oh. A real testimony, okay.
I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him.
Is that really what the PIC believes? What the fuck is Duke Nukem 3D 20? What? That's a good fucking question, man. Yeah, that's kind of overpriced. And 3D, wow. I wonder what the rest costs. Sales are over. Yeah, but even like, you know, without sales, that's like really high price, I'd say. For Duke Nukem 3D. Like, it's not even the most popular one. They're a ripoff of GoldenEye 64. Oh, hey, Suika. Good to see you too. Gearbox software for that. What, for the price? Really? Doesn't Steam well, maybe not. Though in those, actually, I'm not sure what went on with Gearbox. Oh, ripoff of GoldenEye 64. Yeah, but a lot of games are ripoffs, and they're still fun. Serious Sam was also kind of a ripoff, and or was it Painkiller that was a ripoff? I don't know. Those two were always super similar, but they're still fun. And you know, what's it called? Saints Row is a ripoff of GTA. It's still a lot of fun. I still wish they could charge 60 USD for a simple port of 5-year-old game. Yeah, well, like a bunch of other companies do.
Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order.
What they were? Gearbox? No, wasn't it like a small closed team of Valve? I'm pretty sure it was just Valve. It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the PIC. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense, Nestor. That sounds right to me. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved. Okay, so as usual, we're gonna press it all and see what pops out. Hold it! If you acknowledge that, why won't you reopen the case?
The goddess of law does not err in her judgments. While Prosecutor Von Karma may...
Objection. If you ask me, it's all been bogus ever since Von Karma fabricated evidence. And you claim that justice was served. What is that PIC thinking? He did Blue Shift too? I wonder if that's true. Check on it real quick. Oh, god damn it. Just got me curious. Yep. According to Wikipedia, it was developed by Gearbox Software. And the PS2 have the PS2 exclusive co-op single player called the... Oh yeah, I remember that. Man, all that shit shit is so old. It's amazing that the original Half-Life 1, like I never played the expansions, but it's amazing that I played it a couple years back for the first time really. And I never finished it because I got stuck in like what I later read was the hardest room in the game. And I didn't have like any saves that were useful, like it was just, I pretty much death stated. Still to think that people who made the Half-Life 1 expansion are the same people who did this. Yeah. Well, even the people who made Half-Life made, you know, Hat Fortress and Half-Life Episode 3. So yeah. Yeah, we're all still waiting. I wonder if it'll ever happen. You know what I really wonder? How long did it take to make the newest Duke Nukem? Don't remember if it's forever or 3D. I think it's forever. Like, we're waiting for that a long time too. I think it was like 15 years or so. Has it been longer for Episode 3? Or not yet? 14 years for Duke Nukem. And how long has it been for Episode 3? But it was... Yeah. That's the main reason. But I remember it being like a huge meme in the day. I was like, yeah, we'll see that one. We'll see Duke Nukem forever. Ha 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 ha. But then it actually came out, so the meme kind of died. And now it's like the Half-Life 3 meme. And they even changed engines. Yeah, well, that makes sense during 14 years. But how long has it been since Half-Life Episode 2? I think it should be around 15 years, around 14 years, so it might have been even longer. I wonder if there are other sequels that have been promised and not released that people are still waiting for. Probably, if you look long enough. It's a decent game. I heard like mixed opinions about it, Idle Like, I heard pretty much that, like, you know, big fans of the series kinda enjoyed it because they finally got it and they really loved it, but a lot of other people felt it was a bit like uninspired. Also, it's kind of impossible to, you know, live up to the hype of 14 years. Which honestly, well, I never played, so I can't tell from experience, it's just what I've heard. But I think it is really hard to like follow the hype, to fulfill the hype of, you know, 14 years. And that's why if Valve have any brains, they'll probably never release Half-Life 3. Since it could just like, it could just never, like the fanboys would still cheer, but it could just never really, like, you know, make the expectations that people have for it, I think. It's late to finish it, but it's not that bad. Cool, fair enough. I remember that they had a few like good ideas in it, but that it was generally, I think it got like mixed reviews. Not unanimous hatred either.
I can already declare my verdict. There is no need for further investigation.
Which is why I wanted to wait until I drop that bomb, until I have more evidence. Let's hear your explanation on the matter then. Okay, keep going. Valve kept quiet about Half-Life 3 because of the infamous Half-Life 2 beta leak. Oh, I actually never heard about that. But do you think, do you think they're actually legit working on it? That there is actually a team dedicated to working on Half-Life 3 right now? And they're waiting for VR, you think? Well, yeah, but VR, but who knows when will VR be actually, you know, a valid technology for gaming and not just like, you know, a gimmick, a graphical gimmick. Hacker stole it. Pretty much the same thing. First of all, I really think there's no one working on Half-Life 3. I think it's just a meme for Gabe and everyone involved too. I don't think they're even working on games. Are they even developing games at all anymore? I really don't think so. I don't think there's gonna be... They probably got a small team for like Team Fortress 2 or something, but I doubt if it's even getting any more updates anymore, or probably not as much as they used to. VR sales are picking up in Nano, but most of the sales are Sony VR. Yeah, well, it's a bit complicated because there's also cinema involved and stuff, but from what I've seen, I still haven't seen anything that suggests that people know how to use VR properly in a game. And Valve and its core, I think, are still like the people there, and in ZNA, they're still like an artistic company. only working on VR titles right now. Oh, they are working on VR titles. Yeah, actually, they did also like release a new type of controller for VR recently, didn't they? So yeah, have to think about it. That actually makes sense, Nestor. It was just an announced artifact. Haven't heard of it. Rebuilt the whole game from scratch when it was told. Really? I had no idea about that. You know, that's a good idea. I mean, well, not a good idea maybe, but it's a good thing for us, I suppose. Anyhow, interesting. So you think that Half-Life 3 is going to be a VR title? 3 AAA games for VR, Sid gave in on the last AMA gave in. Really? They announced the Knuckles control, but still in design product. Yeah. Oh, so they just announced it. Yeah, because I remember hearing about it. Exactly, which is interesting. It's a great thing. That's like exactly the direction that VR needs to go in. But it's not just like the technology of what's available, it's also like how to implement it. I haven't seen anything at all, neither in cinema or in gaming, that makes me think that people know how to use VR artistically yet. To like, you know, deliver an experience or a story. Dota card game. Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, I remember the YouTube video with a fucking reaction. That was great. I was really glad that was the reaction in the studio. Yeah, but come on, to be honest, like, I don't know, my personal opinion, card games are barely video games. I mean, come on. It's like you know, it's like Monopoly. Like, Monopoly is a game, but, you know, digital Monopoly, I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. I'm really a Dota fan, but I don't like card games. Yeah, same here. I don't like card games. Why would anyone care about artistic VR? Well, because it's a tool that you can use. Same, for me, it's the same as jump from, it could be, or it should be, the jump from 2D to 3D. There's that, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Suika. For me, that's part of, like, fun is part of the art of making game. Art, when I'm talking art, I'm talking about, like, anything that's beyond just making money, or just like anything with a bit of deeper thought. But yeah, I agree with you completely on that. Maybe it's just like different wording. But I like this Matching the Gathering because it was an RPG. Did you play a digital version, or did you play like I get the appeal of actual card games face to face, but the card games that like Magic the Gathering, I can get the appeal of that, but you know, seeing people play like Hearthstone, I just don't really get that. Yes, VR titles so far racing max pace games. Yeah, which makes sense. Or like, you know, simulations, like the mountain climbing game or stuff like that. And yeah, which is cool. It's a gimmick, but it's exactly a gimmick, or a tech demo, like you call it. I completely agree with what you're saying right now, Suika. But fun for me, and you know, a deeper story like that, those are both part of the more artistic part of a game, like, you know, gameplay and fun and mechanics and story and all of that, and delivering story better through different tools and mechanics. Kind of like you can use, for me it's the same as 3D, or in cinema, when I talked in cinema to people from cinema about it, I compare it again to like the jump from, you know, from what's the word? Either from, you know, from silence to sound, from silent cinema to cinema with sound, or to just like the jump to having colors, which might be a bit more similar. Well, it can be either or. It depends on what it could be. It could be an amazing tool that could be a game changer for decades to come, like, you know, adding sound to movies, or it could be just a meme that drops dead. But it depends on how well people can use that to tell a story. Like, that's just what I think. Yes, sorry, Ivelmal, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get like carried on into conversations like that, which I really do enjoy, but you're right, we're here for the game. So I'll be really, really happy to discuss this later. But let's press this. Hold it! I heard that the biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. If Prosecutor Von Karma had a hand in this confession, the ruling may not be just.
Overruled. The initial investigation was handled by Detective Rip Lacer. He was the one who obtained the confession, according to the official reports. All I can say is that the ruling has already been handed down. Jeez, why does Mr. Courtney have to be so stubborn? Is the PIC so high and mighty?
They sure seem like the arch enemy of prosecutors, to say the least.
So, they're kind of like what the police are to great thieves.
Says the great thief who nonchalantly works alongside the police.
Did I say that? I don't know. Sorry. I must have gone a bit confused. Hold it! Are you saying that both Miss Hall and Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover?
Mr. Master committed the murder while Miss Curator moved the body. That's what I believe.
Quoi? Qu'est-ce que c'est? How could you say that? We...
Smash! Did you not steal the body and preserve it for 18 years? It is only natural to suspect you of being...
Objection! She has already confessed to her crimes. And now is not the time to judge her for past crimes.
In that case, let's judge Miss Hall for her current crime.
Mr. Gustavia, okay. Hold it! If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Gustavia?
Perhaps Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever.
Objection! Can you prove that theory?
Mr. Gustavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there's nothing we can do for now.
That can't be true. There must still be something we can do.
You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clearer explanation.
Okay, so far I don't see anything super, like, you know, contradictory. Hold it! By ample evidence, you mean?
For the IS-7 incident, we have a body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. For the poison gas incident, we have the two chemicals in Miss Hall's confession. Furthermore, I had finished collecting all the evidence necessary. For your own PIC hearing, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What?
How can he say something like that so casually?
I hope that like case 4 or 5 are gonna be like Edgy versus the PIC, where we're directly fighting Justine. That would be great, I think. Miles, you know you're always welcome to join the Edgeworth offices. Oh, hey there, good golf. Always good to see you, buddy. Right near the end of the stream, but it's good to see you, man. Hope you're having a good day. And yeah, Mech Warrior in VR is probably gonna be real. I never played it, but I could just imagine, like, you know, really feeling like you're in it. So that's a great direction. Judge Courtney, I'd like to ask that you refrain from making such needless remarks.
I understand. Well, regardless.
I'd like to investigate any further. Hold it! Are you saying that there is nothing left for us to investigate?
We have already exhausted all ends in regards to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. I shall now deliver my verdict for the defendant, Catherine Hall.
Objection! Hold it! There is still a need for further investigation.
If you wish to halt my verdict, please do so with evidence. That is, if there is any evidence that requires further deliberation.
I cannot allow this case to end here. There is still something that needs to be cleared up. Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her.
Okay, so I didn't spot anything super contradictory. Unless I missed anything. Let me look at the evidence thing. Notably, our most latest one. Well, the statute of limitations. Murder 15 years, theft 7. But supposedly this was attempted murder today, so this isn't relevant. And like I said, I don't think there was anything about this that's relevant. Like, I don't think that anyone fled to a different country. Also, going accomplices are on trial. The countdown is stopped until nothing like that happened either. Like, no one is on trial right now. They're talking about charging her as an accomplice, but it shouldn't be relevant to the statute of limitations. I think charges are pressed to demand compensation. And I don't know anything about that either, so I think that's irrelevant. We already used this, so chances are. Also, she gave us this book, so I kind of find it hard to believe that we're going to use it against her. But who knows? Connors, the prosecutor, on common fabricating the information, successfully convinced Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Mr. Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame. I was thinking about maybe, like, she earlier said that the PIC, do you believe that the PIC didn't notice or didn't do anything about a prosecutor who faked evidence? But we actually have, I don't remember if it says here, no, actually it doesn't, shit. I thought it said here that we did know, because the victim's body vanished, there appears to be no autopsy report. Is that the true reason? Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Idle Mouse. See you soon, buddy. Okay, so it's not that. Art gallery pamphlet. Attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia in order to pin the blame on him. Okay, well, she had access to both. Well, she actually admitted to, like, putting the poison there. Used gas burner. I don't think this is relevant. There's a cloth. Pisces sketch. There's the ladder and everything else. Why would Gustavia heat up the glass, though? Make it melt maybe and see if the body's inside? I guess that's possible, but why from the top then? Yes, we know about that. Angel's recipe book. Frame finger marks. Rock salt lamp. Family photo of Gustavia, Dover, and their sons. Gustavia's son always came to visit up until the finals. Teapot. Trolley, we use that. Sketch of beauties, we use that a bunch. Chocolates. And liquid analysis results. Again, what do we have with here? Sugar matches the like liquid found in Dover's room 18 years ago. The sugar found also appears to have the same composition. And it had blood. That's because of the body that was inside it. Statute of limitations. But no, we have an attempted murder, so that's irrelevant. Ample evidence for both the I-7 incident and today's poison gas incident. No need to investigate further. Let me press this again. Hold it! Ample evidence was the body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. Well, you didn't really have the body, but you do now, so I don't know. Even though there was no autopsy report, so the poison gas incident, we have the 2 chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. They do have all of that. Finish collecting all the evidence necessary. Yeah, that's irrelevant. The only contradiction I think here is maybe, well, that the body was gone and that we had no autopsy until now. Let me see what he says again at the end of the... Still something that needs to be cleared up. Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her. Well, one thing that we still don't know... The one thing I cannot explain for all of this is the frame finger marks. Some left finger marks behind in Mr. Master's room, no fingerprints were found. So why do that? I feel like that's the only thing right now that hasn't been cleared up yet. Like, we know, and the photo, but that's not, I feel like that's relevant at the moment. Teapot, left trolley. Okay, so I think it's the... Where is it again? Whatever, it's right after that, yeah. I think it's the frame finger marks. But where do I put that? Maybe under there's nothing else to investigate. There's no need to investigate any further. Well, let's give it a shot. I got plenty of health. I can play it a bit risky right now. Objection! Judge Courtney, could you take a look at this piece of evidence?
I'm afraid I cannot accept that piece of evidence. I do not believe it has any relation to my testimony.
Oh.
As I expected, she's nothing like Mr. DeBest. However, I won't back down so easily.
Shit, didn't even get a hint there. What'd she say over there? In the last piece of testimony? Nothing left. We have already exhausted all ends in regards to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. I shall now deliver my... God damn it. What am I missing here? Stained with Dover's blood. Okay, I thought maybe something about the fingerprints here, but it seems irrelevant. Did we actually exhaust everything with the evidence? Well, what we still don't know is when the body was moved. We know when the ice sculptures were moved, but not when the body was. Chocolates on limits relevant. Liquid analysis. Already know everything about this, I think. I gotta get going, but I don't want to leave before we find the right piece of evidence. I don't think the statute of limitations was relevant here either. If anyone has any guesses, feel free to post them. Fabricate the information about the body.
Hold it!
Let me look at this again.
Objection!
No, that was a dud. And she thinks that she hid the body. Hold on.
Hold it!
And Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover. No, she's saying that he committed the murder and she moved the body. That's what she believes. Crimes and now is not the judgment for past crimes. Yes, we're talking about this. Hey Claude, how's it going, buddy? Happy Tuesday, man. In order to put the blame on him. Yeah, and she thought that like that Gustavus was onto her. Ample evidence. Maybe it's this one that I need to present on? I don't know. Let me try the incident file for a second. Since over here they talk about the autopsy, and that's a piece of evidence we're missing, so I don't know. Somewhat bored? Fair enough. Maybe, I don't know. Make some dinner. Play something. Yeah, play some Stalker. You love that shit. Read something, maybe? I'm starting to get into audiobooks recently. It's pretty cool. Though I do miss the joy of, like, you know, really sitting in front of the book. Okay, whatever. Let me try this. Objection! Oh, what'd you make? Judge Courtney, there's a contradiction in your testimony.
I cannot authorize this statement.
And why not?
Because it's obvious you're bluffing.
Is that the impression I give off? It's alright. Okay, nice man.
Next time for sure, I will present evidence that will silence her for good.
Okay. I was trying to think that maybe it's not that, but like on this statement I need to present stuff. I really don't know, like, what though? Like, this seems to still work out, the gas burner. Okay, it's risky, but I'm gonna try the other two things I tried but on this statement, because I'm pretty lost right now. I really don't know what to do. Objection! Shit.
Judge Courtney, could you take a look at this piece of evidence?
I think it's the same thing as before. Yeah, shit. Ample evidence. And again, I'm gonna lose like all my health on this because I really don't know like what exactly I'm supposed to contest. What exact piece of evidence are we still missing? The photo, it's not like relevant right now. It doesn't feel relevant at least. What about the incident file? Objection! I need a fucking hint. Yes, this game is originally for the DS. That's true. Fuck, I need to get going. Okay, let me go over everything again. That's what I think you should do when you're stuck.
Hold it!
Acknowledge that the reward reopened the case. Good, considering I barely used my 3DS. All the games in this series are really, really fun, Claude. I highly recommend the Ace Attorney. Yeah, Japanese exclusive only. That's true. This game is this is a fan translation. But all the other games in the Ace Attorney series, all the ones that I've played at least, are really, really good and fun. So I highly recommend them, and they're all for the DS. So you should definitely check those out, in my opinion. Some of them, like the first ones, are pretty old, so they're probably like I don't know what DS games are priced, but I think they're probably pretty cheap by now.
Objection.
Okay, so that's okay. So she doesn't need. This is relevant. This is just a dud statement. What she says here. Successfully convicted.
Hold it!
Okay. Biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. Was when Comrade just had a hand in his confession, the ruling may not be just. That's true. Oh, the main series is on 3DS now? Oh, that's great. The first 3 games on 3DS on eShop were dirt cheap. Yeah, it would be likely. And mobile. Oh, I didn't know it was for mobile too. That's really cool. The initial investigation was handled by Detective Replacer. He was the one who obtained the confession, according to the official report. That's right, he took the bullet for Coupon Karma. All I can say is that the ruling has already been handed down. Why does Miss Courtney have to be so stubborn? PSD so high and mighty. Enemy of prosecutors. Okay, so that was already handed down, so there's nothing we can do about that. True culprit was Miss Curator herself.
Hold it!
No, she's saying that he murdered her and she moved the body. And yeah, that's her past crimes, so we're focusing on her current crime.
Hold it!
Pin the blame on him. Anything suspicious here? She went to pin the crime on somebody. Why choose Mr. Gustavia? Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever. Can you prove that theory? Mr. Gustavia is currently... yeah, well... there's nothing we can do for now. It can't be true, there must still be something we can do. Still don't get it, do you? Damn it. I felt like it was going to something there, but I don't think that's the, like the statement either that I need to go to. Fuck, okay. Well, if worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna have to go, and we'll just redo this part at the beginning of next stream. What I'm thinking right now... well, there's a couple more things that we haven't used, really. There's a picture, there's maybe the statute of limitations, but that's irrelevant because we're talking about like what she did yesterday or the day before, like really recently. Officers on trial, the counter has stopped until the... well, yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like it's all about the statute is frozen for the length of the procedure. Until the suspect returns. Oh, that's nice, Claude. Hope you're enjoying it. Even though it's bad for your health. Anyhow, I'm really stuck here. Like, I don't see anything at all that could be it. It could be the family photo. Maybe this with like Gustavia suspecting? Do we know anything? Oh no, I can't present person. It's really a stretch. I'm just like shooting, just like grab, what's the phrase? Grabbing thin air or grabbing straws, whatever. I'm just trying stuff right now. I really don't know. Objection! No, not at all. Judge Courtney, don't you have a problem with that statement just now?
Should I have a problem with it?
Exactly. Because there's no problem at all.
In that case, you should have refrained from speaking in the first place.
I don't think that left a good impression. Fuck. Ample evidence for both the IS-7 incident and today's poison gas incident.
Hold it!
The body, the murder... well, you don't really have the body. The murder weapon and a pair of suspects. Two chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. Okay, I'm gonna do one last attempt, and if this doesn't work, then I don't know. We're just gonna have to keep going next stream, I'm afraid. I really want to do this, but time is starting to be like really short for me and pressing. So again, IS-7 incident. Case files received from Shield's parts in orange are Shield's notes. Received at the entrance of the Zodiac Art Gallery. Mountain Palace, Winter Palace. Opening times 10 to 5. I don't think there's anything here that really... It only means that you broke inside while they were closed, but... Still don't improve anything here. Sugar deserts the victim made 18 years ago. There are traces that it was used before the police arrived, where it was used to heat something. Indicated by Delisha, the cloth that vanished 18 years ago was found floating in the fountain along with the body. Drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture just as he saw it, touched the checklist for details. Yeah, that's the same thing. Wasn't yes, the white battalion. Yeah, we know that. Angel's recipe book contains a recipe for the drug that cures the taste disorder. Some of the finger marks. I still think that this is unexplained, but apparently they don't. Rock salt lamp. I was thinking about maybe using this, but I don't think, like, we haven't used this yet, but like it had Mr. Master's fingerprints. If she would have said that she murdered Mr. Dover, then I would have presented this, but that's not the case. Family photo. I definitely know it's gonna like turn to something about their sons. That's like the only motive Gustavia may have had to kill him. Also, his son like disappeared or something. Maybe just the photo. Maybe that's a piece of evidence we haven't inspected yet. I'm gonna try the photo. And hope for the best. So... Objection! Shit. God damn it. Okay. So... Okay, so that's it. I'm sorry guys, but I really want to keep going, but time is just like too tight for me right now. I wish I could stay and keep going, but I got work tomorrow and I gotta sleep. I also started like, you know, getting up earlier than usual for different reasons, so I'm sorry. But that's it. So thank you everybody for watching, of course as usual. Yeah, I know Nestor, it does feel bad. But I will be back pretty soon, not tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday. So real life feels bad. Yeah, I know, man. But I will be back, not tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday though, same time as today. So if you're not sure, you can check the schedule to see what time is it locally for you. I got a North American and a European version, so you can check in both of those. And also, you can feel free to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Steam, and that way you can get notifications whenever I start to stream, so you don't miss any of it. And you can also follow me on Twitch and YouTube if you want to watch my past broadcasts of this game and others. So that's it, guys. As usual, I had a great time. I love this game. I hope you guys enjoyed at least as much as I did, and hope to see all of you guys on Thursday or even before. I might even do a casual stream tomorrow if I'll find the time. So yeah, maybe some, I don't know, GTA or Siege or something like that. We'll see. Hopefully I'll find the time. So that's it. I really gotta run. So thanks again, guys. And see you soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. And Marco.